Podcast.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tasha Garcia. I'm here from Authors Press. Today is March 17th of 2022. I'm gathered here today with author Raju Ramanathan with his book, From Mercury. Mr. Ramanathan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. In my life, or should I say previous life, because in this life, right now I am retired from my profession. I had been a most sought after life coach for many high profile individuals, and also a distinguished improvement champion for major corporations for their engineering work, how they do things, how they run the company, and so on and so forth. Okay. So in a way, I have been a scientist of both the inner and the outer worlds. And because I have been also teaching meditation since I was at the age of 13. I was teaching people in my whole village, neighborhood, senior people, 70 and above would come and sit and listen to me and be coached by me for how to get that inner composure that I had, which they were lacking. So as I grew up and as I was traveling to different countries, through my company, I traveled to over 30 countries. And I always took my teaching with me wherever I went, whether it is Philippines, whether it is, Thailand, it doesn't matter, Japan, wherever. And in a way, I took numerous countries by storm because diverse cultural backgrounds have not stopped me from continuing to enlighten even these most modern communities through my spiritual message, which was crystal clear to them. No matter what the age, no matter what the background. So my teachings gained popularity, and I had many, guest appearances in the TV networks, like in Canada, Radio Canada, and I did programs on some of the TV channels here. I also became interested in music therapy through my spiritual master, whose picture you see right here behind me. And he has taken the whole world by storm through his music and healing. He traveled to almost, over 100 concerts he has given, not in an ordinary place, in the best of the best concert halls like Royal Albert Hall, Sydney Opera, and the like. Okay. So I use his music as a background for my teaching. I always did. He promotes me, I promote him. Even this book has been formally introduced by him through all of his disciples, 10,000 people in the audience, saying all of you should take this book seriously and buy it. And 40 copies, 60 copies sold right away that I ordered through Authors Press, which was in my hand. So that's a bit of my background. And in a way, what I have done in my life is to give the essence. I have successfully bridged the two debatable dimensions of science and religion, science and spirituality. Okay.
Wow, that's definitely something. That actually leads into my next question. Can you tell us a little bit about your book, like a little synopsis?
Okay. The book is right here. Souls from Mercury, and the subtitle is Chakra Magic, Empowering Relationships. Right here it says the book was recommended as a recommended reading by US Review of Books as well as Pacific Review, both of them the full score. And so in a way, in all these years of travel that I did, and actually I've met people, I felt their sorrows, I understood their questions and their inner quest as well. So Through this book, I am here to share a new possibility of how we can go beyond, all of this question, or beyond these sorrows, or beyond these fears and everything else. And I found the answer lies actually in us transcending ourselves, rather than being an inner-oriented person, which is more like an introvert, or just be an extrovert. Go beyond these two dimensions, beyond being a woman or a man, So we should be, then we become the most powerful, the most effective in this world in bringing about the change. Change does not start in the whole world. Change starts from ourselves. Then it starts from us to the family. Family spreads to the country and then to the whole world. So in this world now beset with pandemics, it was pandemic for 2 years and now it's a war-torn world. My message is more relevant today in these 2 years than ever before.
How did your journey as an author begin? Where did it all start?
My journey as an author only began, that is connected to the inspiration of people who inspired me. Both are connected, okay? As I told you, I'm only a coach of people. I have given several seminars, maybe almost over several hundreds of seminars. So many of them came back and said, have you written a book? That was a standard question in most of the seminars. They want to carry something in their hands and leave, rather than listen to me and then feel good, feel transformed, and then after that, they become their normal self after a few weeks. So they wanted to keep something in their hands. I said, wow. So I told them, some of them who were with me traveled with me to many of the seminars, why don't you put together some of the things that I've said in the class, put together some of the questions from people, because these questions are not only from my students. These are the questions from anyone who wants to bring about a change in their life, who bring about and create a new you within themselves. So they did that. They transcribed all of my things. So my journey as an author only started after they put everything together. And my co-author, Christina Theophilus, with whom I wrote another book as well. So these two books they jive with each other. My concern is, one, you as an individual. Then your background comes from your schooling system. So if you have been bullied, the effect of that will be all through your life. So I said, we need to create a global educational harmony in the schools. I applied all these principles in that one. And I wrote another book with Christina. So this is when my journey began. I did not sit down and write a book, really, thinking about something in my mind. I trying to impress my opinion, my own opinion on other people. No, that is not my intent. It is about share myself, participate in the lives of others, and make a difference in their lives. That's what I am there for, as an author.
That's definitely amazing. From your book, what is the main message you want to get across to your readers?
If you want me to say it in one word, one sentence, I'll say, life is not a problem to be solved, but it is a mystery to be lived.
Wow, that's definitely something even I got hit with when you just said that just now. With everything and all the knowledge that's put into your book right now, Souls from Mercury, is this a standalone, or is it going to become a series? Was it built to go further and have more knowledge put out there for the public and readers and anybody who may need it?
The first one is already there is a sequel, which I told you, Preventing Bullying, became a sequel of this, even though the title is not The Soul from Mercury. My message is, until the teacher becomes a soul from Mercury, a balanced person, she cannot create an atmosphere where she can nurture those tiny thoughts or those youngsters or those teenagers in a healthy way of living. She has to be a role model.
Exactly.
So
Definitely.
she has to be a soul from Mercury to create a balanced individual in the classroom as these children are growing. So in a way, that became my sequel. But there will be another one coming up, by the way. When you say coming up, it is still being put together by my students. In the last 2 years, I've been doing Zoom classes. In the beginning, I did Zoom classes when people were hit with COVID, nowhere to go, nothing to do. I was doing classes every day for an hour and a half. Over 100 people were there on the Zoom. So they are now trying to put together, take all the sources here and there, remove all the other material, all my quotations and everything, and, for copyright reasons, and then really do a good job so that only my own teachings filter through that. It's going on already through a software, and that will come up maybe in 6 months or so. It should be ready, I guess. So that will be a sequel.
Oh, I'll definitely look forward to it. Do you have a target audience? And if you do not, who are you trying to target as your audience?
Okay. I would not call my target audience is every human being, really, who want to empower their relationships with themselves, with others, and ultimately with the Creator.
What does literary success look like to you, and what makes you feel successful as an author through your book?
To me, literary success really means to truly go into the hearts of human beings and create a transformation from their normally fear-based living to a love-based living.
Oh.
So, to me, I have not done a job as a literary success. It's not in the number of copies sold. It is not in the number of revenue that I brought in and how much money I made in this. No, that is not my intent. Because to transmit this truth I'm carrying within myself, which I have put into words in writing, I want that truth to spread. If that truth has spread, that is my success. And in fact, truth spreads by itself. I do not have to promote truth. Okay? If you see the truth in what I'm saying, you will go and tell somebody else. If they have seen the truth in that, they will go and tell in somebody else. And that is how my corporate success grew as well. Because people in senior most positions, like presidents of the companies, would come to me and then say, in private, I have this issue. Can I come and have a breakfast with you tomorrow morning? To me, that is literary success. That is corporate success. Not whether I had 100 people working under me, no.
That's
same with literary success. You see the same thing coming up now?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I have to ask, now that I know that you had a book before this one, and you're seeing that there's going to be another book coming out within the next 6 to 7 months.
Yeah.
Can I ask which one of the books was your favorite to put together? I wouldn't say write, because you said it yourself. You didn't sit down at your desk and write this. It came to you. So out of all of your books, which one was your favorite to ultimately put together and be able to publish?
Actually, in my opinion, the first book contains everything in it. The Souls from Mercury contains everything in it. There is nothing more to be said. Everything else would be only a commentary or an application of it. More skills, more skill-based exchange. That's about it.
Okay.
And also my journey as an author began with it. So that will be always my first baby,
There you go. Out of all your books, which one of the books was the hardest to write? And what and how did you struggle with it as you're writing with it?
Actually, the hardest part of my book was to have that kind of being really computer savvy, which I was not. Even though I worked in the corporate world, But I had an Apple computer, and working with Word on Apple is not an easy one. It's Microsoft Windows based. And so I was praying to God, I need someone to help me out with this, even though the basic outline was all very, very, very clear. It was ready to go. So I think God sent me Christina Theophilus. I met her in a restaurant, and she was looking for someone to come and share her ideas about being a teacher. She was an expert in education. So she said, I'm going to come and spend with you, learn from you, ask you questions from this book, and you answer me, standing up sometimes. And because my classes are not there, right? I have only one audience, which is Christina.
Exactly.
So what happened, the hardest part is now put them all in a form which was not still ready to go into the author. So when Authors Press called me out of the blue and then said, we heard that you have a book, I'm ready to go. And they said, would you like to come with us? So we will help you all along the way. And they really helped me out to put it together in the form in which it was, do all the editorial reviews and do all the little computer alignments and everything else which are required for the book, and led me through. That's the hardest part for me, and they filled in for it.
Amazing. I know that you touched on this a little earlier on in the interview, but what is your biggest source of inspiration, and can you tell us a little bit more of who he is and why he's your inspiration?
You see in the background a musician. If you see the, I think, third or fourth page of the book, it says this book is dedicated to my master Ganapati Satchidananda. It says right here in this page. This book is dedicated at the feet of Sri Sri Ganapati Satchidananda from Mysore, India. He is a musician maestro par excellence. He has created an instrument. It is a synthesizer. He got it designed in Germany, which is a special instrument from which sounds of many instruments comes out of this. So he creates a celestial music of certain sort. You feel you are not in that room, you feel you are somewhere else. So the demand for his music was worldwide. Over 1,000 people would attend his concerts, and it was called Music for Meditation and Healing. So I was like his number one disciple. He appointed me to go globally with him, travel with him, and introduce him as well in many places, and be there, And I did that part as well. So he inspired me, said, I want you to put music therapy is my message. I want you to put meditation as a new way of presentation to the world, with music and with your methodology which you already have. So we work together. He is my inspiration, really. And of course, my family is my inspiration. My son really told me one fine day, my granddaughters were born. He said, Daddy, you go around the world. I've come with you here and there all over the world. I came to England with you and to see Swamiji's concert. If my daughters ask me tomorrow, what was Grandpa's teaching? You say that he was, globally known, well-known, world-renowned and everything. What do I tell them? And I said, son, that's a good question. So I need to make sure this book is, really published, and he helped me out with the initial finances and everything, and so I could really do it. So both my daughter-in-law and my son, they are my inspiration for. In fact, if you go through the book inside, you will see many photographs. These photographs are actually taken by them. It's their copyright. They have taken these photographs as they travel around the world.
That's definitely amazing. That's really amazing. So my next question is, what is some advice you would wish someone gave you before you started putting this book and your other books together?
What advice would I give to others?
What advice would you have wished someone had given you before you started this?
Oh, I see. Some advice people had given me. I am new to the publishing industry, so little did I know that as soon as I put in the market, it's not going to sell right away, and really I need to carry the book with me, which is, of course, I did that. And it took a while for the book sales to get the traction. I have gone to many events, with Authors Press putting me in the LA Book Festival, in New York Expo, in Canada Book Expo, and so on and so forth with Authors Press. And I wish someone had told me that is not good enough. I have to make sure the book really gets into the bookstores. That is what is going to increase the sales. So I wish someone had told me. After now talking to more people, more knowledgeable people, I'm beginning to understand what does it take to do that. And I'll be engaging myself in 2022 to get it accomplished. As a goal right now, I'm immediately going to accomplish this through Indigo and chapters in Canada. Every bookstore will have it within a month or so. I have republished the book with all the Canadian requirements of what they need here. Is they need the special ISBN number, which has book returnability program built into it, and so on and so forth, and its own special ISBN and everything else. So without that, they would not stock them. Without all the price shown right there in the last page, in the bottom, wherever they want it to be there. Okay. I wish someone had told me all this right in the beginning. My books would have been in the stores long ago.
My next question is, are you pleased with the outcome of this book in general, Souls from Mercury? And if you had the chance to do anything differently, what would have that been?
Yes, I am pleased with the outcome of the book, because anybody who has read the book, especially the people from the, as I told you, my book was written for two audiences. I have many students who are my psychologists, who used to come to my programs. Medical doctors used to come to my programs in Chicago, where I lived for 15 years. So they had a need. I know they came and recommended my book. In the next edition, there are reviews and recommendations forward given by those people. In the second edition now, which has come. This is a bolder print, same book, but it's a bolder print. Now it is printed through Mercury Man Publishing, which is my own company. I branded my book.
Wow, congratulations.
I branded the book. And so mercurymanpublishing.com, people can go into that. And I'm marketing the book through other materials as well, like cabs and cups and saucers or whatever else they need, t-shirts. So as an added bonus to people who want to buy the book. New marketing strategies I'm learning as I go along. So I'm pleased with the outcome of the book.
That's amazing. So is there anything else you wanted to talk about or add and or mention before we wrap this interview up?
I think the solution for all the various current day core issues in the world, it was COVID and now it is war or whatever, the solution is not going to come anywhere in this solar system, because the solution lies from our own inner chakra system, not the solar system, but our chakra system, 7 chakra system, where we can activate these chakras, activate these inner energies, and find the peace within ourselves and attain enlightenment through this. Through this, we will be sharing this to the whole world and bring peace and joy to everyone around.
I know that you did a plug just a second ago, but can you tell where can we find out more about your books, like the website that you mentioned, and if there's any other place that we can find out more about your book?
Okay. There are 2 websites. There was one that is still available through Authors Press. That is www.soulsfrommercury.com. the title of the book.com. There is another one coming from the bolder print, this book. And this one is available from mercurymanpublishing.com. www.mercurymanpublishing.com. And both sources it is available, and it's available through very soon it will be available through at least through my target is to target at least one province, maybe starting from California, the bookstores, and in Canada where I am.
Wow, that's amazing. And then, so my next question is, and final question is, how do you feel about working with Authors Press? I know you stated that working with us was amazing, but can you tell us exactly how you feel about working with Authors Press?
I think, as to say the least, they were helpful. They were understanding of my limitations as an author, and they sympathized with my needs. They were patient with my turnaround time sometimes, because my granddaughters were just then born, I had family responsibilities and so on. And they helped out with all the editorial reviews. They helped me with the website creation, very awesome website. People could just go into the website and order the book right from my website. So those facilities they created for me. And they also, Authors Press, were very instrumental in bringing me around the world, across the globe, through those book festivals and expos. So I'm very thankful to them for having done that.
Amazing. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for meeting with me and discussing your book. It's been a very large pleasure of mine speaking with you. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to Authors Press, either via email or phone number. And as usual, we'll get back to you when we can. Again, this is author Raju Ramanathan, the author of Souls from Mercury. And I'm Tasha Garcia from Authors Press. Thanks for tuning in.